Imagine you've done everything right. You have the job, the credit score, the down payment. You found the perfect home. You're ready to move forward. And then the agent smiles politely and says, "Sorry, you just don't fit this neighborhood." No red ink, no legal reason, just a silent wall you didn't know existed until you ran straight into it. Today's story isn't just about a house. It's about control, about class, about what happens when the door doesn't close loudly, it just never opens. This is the story of a woman who fought back after being told she didn't fit in a neighborhood she had owned the right to live in. But before we begin, I want to ask, have you ever been denied something you clearly qualified for, but couldn't explain why? Do you believe housing discrimination still happens quietly, behind paperwork and smiles? Let us know in the comments. Your voice matters. And if you believe in stories that uncover the truth, shake systems, and speak for the unheard, subscribe to Secrets of the Case. Because we don't just tell stories. We expose what some people hope never gets revealed. Now, let's begin. Denise Walker was 35, a financial consultant, single, smart, independent. She had grown up in a small, crowded apartment on the south side of Chicago. 3 siblings, 1 bathroom. Her mother used to say, "One day, you'll have your own house with trees and quiet." Now, that day had come. After years of saving, budgeting, and building her credit, Denise was ready. She pre-qualified for a mortgage, got a trusted realtor, started looking at homes in the suburbs. She found it in a community called Willow Ridge Hills. Quiet, safe, clean, tree-lined streets, joggers in the morning, top-rated schools, 80% owner-occupied homes. It was everything she had worked for. She toured a 3-bedroom brick house, open kitchen, fenced yard, a big oak tree in the front. She fell in love. She put in an offer. Then the games began. The listing agent, Ms. Patterson, was polite but oddly stiff. "We'll be reviewing several offers," she said, though Denise's bid was at asking price, in cash. A week passed, then 2. Denise's realtor followed up. "They're asking for additional paperwork, bank statements, proof of employment again." Odd, considering she was already pre-approved and had the funds documented. Still, she complied. More silence. Then a voicemail. "Hi, Ms. Walker. We regret to inform you the seller has decided to go in a different direction." No counteroffer. No explanation. Just rejection. Denise moved on. Found another house in the same neighborhood. Similar size. Same price range. This time, she used a different agent. A friend of a friend, a white colleague from her firm, agreed to submit the inquiry. Within 24 hours, they got a showing. Within 48 hours, the seller's agent emailed back with, "We'd love to work with your client. Let's talk numbers." Denise was stunned. Same financials, same neighborhood, same buyer, only difference, the name and face presenting the offer. She requested a copy of the email chain, compared it to her earlier correspondence. The tone, the urgency, the assumptions. She brought it to her agent. "This isn't just a coincidence," Denise said. "This is discrimination." Her agent hesitated. "It's possible, but hard to prove." That phrase again. Hard to prove. So Denise began researching. She found similar stories from Black and Latino home buyers in white-majority suburbs. Homes mysteriously sold to others. Showings cancelled. Calls unreturned. It had a name. Steering. A quiet practice in real estate where people of color are subtly guided away from certain neighborhoods. She wasn't alone. Denise filed a complaint with the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD. She reached out to a local fair housing nonprofit. They launched a test. A white tester posed as a buyer with a slightly lower income than Denise. Applied for the same neighborhood listings. Every door opened. A black tester, same profile as Denise, applied again. Doors closed. The results were clear. Denise had been redlined. Just not on paper. Not through banks. Through people. The housing organization threatened legal action. The brokerage firm claimed isolated miscommunication. Ms. Patterson was placed on leave. The firm offered Denise a quiet settlement, but she refused to stay silent. I don't want money. I want change. I want accountability. She began speaking publicly. Her story made the local news, then regional, then national. Online backlash poured in. Why does everything have to be about race? Maybe she just wasn't a good fit. Stop playing victim. But support poured in too. This happened to me too. I left a deposit and never got a call back. Thank you for speaking up. Denise's case led to an internal review at several local agencies. Training was overhauled. Testing was increased. A quiet system had been shaken. And Denise? She finally bought her home. Not in Willow Ridge Hills, but in a nearby neighborhood that welcomed her without question. Same trees, same birds, same peace. This time, she said, the door opened without me needing to prove I belonged. Let's be clear. Denise had perfect credit, cash in hand, no debt, no criminal record, a stable job. Still, she wasn't the right fit. Because in many spaces, fit means familiarity, and familiarity often means white. Real estate discrimination doesn't always sound like slurs. It sounds like, we're going in another direction. It's already pending. The seller's being picky. That's how systemic bias survives. Quiet, smiling, legal adjacent. Denise didn't break down. She broke through. She refused to let a smile fool her. Refused to let politeness mask the pattern. Now it's your turn. Have you or someone you know ever been denied housing without any clear reason? Have you ever felt like you were judged before you even walked in the door? Share your story in the comments. We're building a record, and every story matters. If you believe in truth, in change, in exposing what others hide, subscribe to Secrets of the Case, because behind every no that never made sense, there's usually a story someone doesn't want you to hear. Thank you for watching. Keep asking, keep pressing, keep demanding open doors.